all for joining us for episode 3 of Gnome Sane Presents. Who knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men? The Emanating Shadow knows.
All right, guys. Let's get you in here. All right. There we go.
What's going on?
Not much. What's good, guys? What's up?
That opening's great.
All right, thank you.
Thought the same thing.
Glad you guys enjoyed it. We had a little fun with it, so hopefully you had some good. Well, welcome to the podcast. We are on episode 3 of Gnome Sane Presents. We've got Goofy MTF as official co-host now. We had our May the 4th
What's up,
sort of
Goof?
episode before, and we
What's
are
up?
Introducing Emanating Shadow as our
Hey, what's going on, guys?
third guest on Gnome Sane Presents. How you doing, Emanating?
Yeah, we doing good. How you guys doing tonight?
Doing good.
Not too shabby. Just another lovely Wednesday hanging out with the boys.
Yes, sir.
Heck yeah.
We got hump day.
Oh, yeah.
So anything good happening with you guys? Anything?
Not really. Just chilling at the moment.
Okay.
So,
You guys
Yep.
staying cool?
always.
Always, my friend, always.
It got a little crispy out there today, huh?
Yeah, a little bit. I'm in an upstairs apartment. We've got all kinds of animals and
Oh,
aquariums, and it's just hot.
All the everything.
Nasty. Yeah. Yeah, it was like
It's more
87
humid in there than it is outside.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, it's come home to like 80 degrees inside the house. You're just like, oh, it's prime, right?
That's right. That's right. You just take off your clothes and start sweating. It's like a sauna.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, we're back in another episode, man. This is awesome. We're starting on time. We got everyone here.
Yeah,
That's cool.
you know, no technical
Yeah, doing
difficulties like
things.
May the 4th, you know. The
That's
4th
right.
is not with us that day. Today it is. Oh, yeah.
So, emanating. You've got a Twitch stream, you've got a YouTube, and you've got a Facebook going.
Yeah, we got a whole slew of things.
A whole slew, yes, sir.
Yeah, we got a lot going on in the back pocket.
So a couple of the things are brand new.
Yeah.
And we'll wait a minute to get into that. We'll start talking about your Twitch streaming first. I think you've been doing that longer than anything, right? As far
Trying
as
to get rid of all the
content
logos.
creator.
Just trying to get rid of all the logos. Sorry, say again.
Oh yeah, no problem. So for Twitch streaming, that's what you've probably been doing the longest, right? As far as content creation goes.
Yeah, I'd say so. So,
Okay.
yeah, I've been working on the Emanating Shadow game.
Okay. And
How long have
had
you been doing it?
right?
I don't know, but it's been probably about a year now, maybe.
Okay.
So you had a different name before Emanating Shadow, right?
I've had all sorts of names.
Yeah.
My whole gaming career was quite extensive with names, because
Okay.
every time I'd find a game, I'd be like, oh, cool, and I'd make a game, and then it's like, okay, your name's taken. I was like, oh, really? So that happened until I got to World of Warcraft, and I was playing that, and I started using all the funny characters, which they're totally against. But my whole name was my name ended up being Fatal Agony, because I was a undead warlock. So,
Okay.
So I figured I'd come up with some crazy name that can't be taken.
There you go. So
And that's basically what happened with my Twitch name as well. So everything taken.
Everything taken. And Emanating Shadow, is that the name that hasn't been taken? Is that the one that kind of stuck around?
Yeah, pretty much. So
All right.
we got that one going, and that's been since I've started. Actually, my Twitch name was Emanating Shadow. Like, everything was taken when I was trying to make a Twitch name, so that's what it ended up being. So all of my other games I had to make new names for. And then anything since I started streaming has been Emanating Shadow now. And
Right.
like before, like Rocket League and whatever, I had to change from that to Emanating Shadow now. So
Gotcha.
I think with Rocket League, I think I had like 5 different names.
That's so funny.
So
Is it Steam where you still got the same basic name, or are you like making new accounts or changing epic names?
I bought it. Rocket League. Okay, so I bought it initially on a computer, and then I met 2 friends on the computer version, but they were playing on PlayStation. So I bought it on PlayStation. and then I was playing on that for quite some time, and then my friends that were on PlayStation all went to computer when it was free to play. They jumped on computer, so I ended up going back to computer as well.
Okay.
So I paid for Rocket League twice, and then I did the free download on my Switch.
So Rocket
That's
League's
so funny.
made their money on you. Is that what you're trying to tell us?
Unfortunately, yes. Them and their dang microtransactions.
Right.
So
you probably got your money's worth out of that, though.
I mean, we both did. Them and me.
So, Emanating Shadow, what you said it was a World of Warcraft one. Was there a certain character that you had that was Emanating Shadow?
No, so I haven't played that for quite some time. The first was, I think I had something before Fatal Agony as well.
Okay.
I can't remember what it was, but then I ended up making a worgen named basically the Wolf, and I thought that was pretty cool. And then somebody reported the name, so I had to change it from using a funny character to like an original thing. So I was able to make that work. But
were you on RP servers?
No, I tried staying away from those.
Got you, because that's usually where I found they were most picky about the names is on RP servers.
Really?
Yeah, usually on the regular servers they let stuff fly a lot of times.
Nice.
From what I found.
I never really got into a lot of the RP servers. My friend showed me a couple of them, and we were like, "Yeah, this is pretty funny." But then we left. So, not judging anything, but it was just different at the time, you know.
Yeah. Yep. Definitely role playing like an orc or something like that is different. That's what I like to do actually was my orc, and he was Chaos, and that was his name, and he did the stupidest stuff. Like one time I remember jumping off of Delaran, the floating cloud in the city, as I was role playing my orc because he thought he saw a shiny on the ground. He's like, "Oh, shiny," and I just jumped off.
Well, there was the one server that was it was kind of something like Boon Blaze. We stayed away from that one because that one was a different kind of RP server. So we kind of went there and we are like, "What is going on?" And then we were like, "No, we're out of here." So
I think I know what he's hinting towards.
Yeah. So it was different. So we hung out for a sec where you kind of like just like seeing like what everyone was doing, then we're out. So it was different for sure.
Did you ever hit Leroy Jenkins?
I've done it a few times myself just because that's how I played usually.
Okay. Oh, you've actually like pulled the maneuver.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like, hey guys, you guys ready? Okay, all set. Let's go.
I believe that yes, I got the achievement as well. But yeah, because I also switched to when I made my worgen was a tank, a worgen Death Knight. So I had a lot of fun with that character. That was probably actually my favorite. I used him the most after I made my warlock.
That would be kind of fun.
Honestly, tanking nobody really liked it. And then I started doing it. I'm like, oh my god, this is the best thing ever. So I would always tank, and you would get the extra points and stuff. Since everyone always needed a tank, they would always throw you extra stuff sometimes. So
right, and you could like dungeon level, or it's so easy to queue for dungeons when you're a tank.
Yeah. When you started being tanks, when they started actually adding the dungeon finders and stuff, everything was insta queue. Whereas you'd be on a DPS and it would take half hour to 45 minutes. And I'm like, all right, well, I'm just going to do this.
Right.
So,
do you play much World of Warcraft anymore? Or is that
I haven't played for quite some time. I bought the last expansion, not this newest one, the one before.
Okay.
And then it basically sat on my paid for thing until pretty much when this one came out. And then I actually played it a little bit and I was like, it's all right. And then, I don't think I actually explored any of the content on even. So I just played the one before, but I mean, I played it for probably about 10 to 12 years or so.
Gotcha.
So they got their money out of me. Yep. But don't do the math on that. Jesus. I don't know. I had a lot of fun
about it.
But it's ridiculous. I had a lot of fun with it, but it's it got too repetitive after so long of playing,
Mm-hmm. When I stopped, I think is around the same time because I forget what expansion came out. It was the last one or the one before, but they had your characters locked behind a wall. You had to go through, and you couldn't get the characters for the new expansion until you did quests and did preliminary, and you had to do hours and hours and hours of stuff just to get characters. And that's when I stopped playing.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was
that would suck.
Yeah, and me and the wife were playing, and we're just like, nah, no, we can't even use the new ones we bought. We were done at that point. But, yeah, I played a bunch. I've been in since vanilla as well.
Okay, I got in at Lich King, so
got you.
I played once in high school.
You played once
paid for a couple months, and I was just like, you know what? Nobody's playing with me. I'm kind of bored of it. Like, I'm more of a vocal person, Like I like to play with friends. That's the way that I am. So like when I'm hardcore going on that stuff, it was hard.
Yeah, for sure. That's how it was for me too.
Yeah.
Like everyone was like, "Oh, dude, gotta buy this game." So I bought it eventually, and then everyone that's like, "You gotta buy it," didn't play with me. So I'm like, "Oh, this is cool," and I get to play the whole game. It took me like a year to reach 80 on my first character, just because like I didn't really play it that much, and nobody played with me. So I'm like, "Oh, whatever." And I explored everything. So I got the Explorer stuff before they got rid of it, or there was talk of getting rid of it. So.
Yeah, I had played for probably like 4 years or so, 4 or 5 years, and ran a clan and things like that on there. And then I stopped. I'm like, okay, I'm done. I got it out of my system. I met my wife before we were married, and she moved in with me. And she found a box that had a trial code for World of Warcraft while I was at work one day. So I come home and she's got World of Warcraft loaded up, and she's like, "Oh, this game's great."
You're like, don't do it.
So yeah, another 6 years of World of Warcraft for us.
hey, it's not a bad thing. You're doing it with the wife, so it's not a horrible thing.
We had a lot of fun and a lot of good memories and good times with it. It was
for sure.
It's a good game.
I met one of my best friends through there, so it's a crazy game altogether in itself. Plus, you meet good people and stuff too. So
absolutely,
yep.
So, what are you into now for streaming?
It's been kind of a minute, but I'm still trying to find some kind of interesting horror game to play. That's kind of been my thing since I started, was getting into like the horror games, kind of like going off with all that kind of stuff. That's not just direct jump scares, like kind of like lame, boring ones.
Okay.
So like I played like a decent amount of Phasmophobia on VR because I had a VR and that's the only way I've ever played that game. And everybody's like, "Isn't that scary?" And I'm like, "Not really." But I mean, like you're playing with a couple people, so you're not. It's that scare factor is kind of gone. But then like you play alone, like I can't play it alone. Like I'm all set. But yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. But yeah, so I've only played it on that. Then everyone's like talking about like how do you do something on the computer version? I'm like, I have no idea, dude. You're on your own. Sorry.
Yeah.
And then the character always looks goofy because it's like you're holding like you have like the Joy-Con things in your hands, and then like you have like a belt thing that you can put 2 extra things on. And then if you're playing on the PC, you have 4 item slots. They just I don't know. They go somewhere. But it's funny because everyone like your character like walks around like really goofy for some reason. He like crouches down and like it's just a goofy looking walk that the person does, and like everyone always makes fun of the VR people. So
that's funny.
But it's pretty funny though. So I don't know. It's worth it.
Yeah, the character models are funny on there, even in PC. Like if you lean back to look, you watch them and they're doing like the limbo.
Oh yeah, like they totally limbo, and it's hilarious. That's honestly what I like about doing stuff in VR, because it's so like you can move your arms, so it's one more thing that's just ridiculous about the game. So like you can pick up like knives and stuff, and you'll be like, "Oh, I'm gonna kill the killer" and stuff like that, or kill the ghost or whatever.
That's so funny. Now with VR, I've not played it with VR. I haven't really experienced a whole lot of VR.
That's great.
But there was like an exploit. I don't know if it was still in there, and I don't know if you did it. If you did do this, tell me about it. Where you lay down and hide from the ghost.
I've not done that, but
okay.
In the earlier stages of the game, they had like quite a bit of bugs.
Yeah,
and you can get through walls. I'm the
real ghost.
Right, pretty much. So I was at the in the high school on the top floor. I was just in one of the rooms, and like I was kind of like just trying to find something, and like I couldn't find it. So I think a ghost started haunting me. So I went into like one of the corners, and like you can like kind of like lean. So like I leaned into the wall, and my guy fell through the floor, and I found like the bones that you can find, and I'm like, no way. So it totally worked out, and I was able to get away from the ghost. They've had a couple of weird things like that, to where if you're in one of the houses, the door would like shut on you when the ghost is haunting, and like it would kick you out of the house and it put you in the van. So it's like a free get away from the ghost kind of thing.
All right.
Okay. Oh,
That's
yeah.
so
that was pretty interesting as well. You're like, what?
Yeah, I know they've fixed a lot of that stuff in there too because of the bugs and stuff that they have in it. But those are funny bugs that
they definitely fixed a lot. And the last time I played was kind of like when they added the crawlers and stuff. And like the crawlers are just wild. Like I really enjoy a lot of the stuff that they did with that game. It's
right.
It's like top notch as far as like the fears, like the scares and stuff too. It's not like
and that's
it's cool. It's like they'll just throw stuff, like stuff will just go flying around. It's not like weird like jump scares that don't need to happen.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Just random stuff out of nowhere.
like a sink will turn on, or like a can of food will be thrown, or like plates or whatever get thrown. And it's a cool factor because everything in pretty much all games are just like, oh well, we're gonna like make a jump scare, like ghost fall from ceiling or something stupid.
Yeah.
Random 2 seconds, like right here in your face.
Yeah, exactly.
I really like that game for that reason too. If you have people that are getting immersed in it like that as well, and if you haven't gone through it like 10,000 times and you're just like, hey, where are you, fucker, or whatever, just those people, it's hard to get immersive and get the scares like it when you're doing it. But if you are totally playing different. It and you're trying to play it like the game, it's definitely spooky, dude. I jump a lot when I play it, and
I mean, to be honest, there's definitely those times where you jump just because the stuff, like some stuff just happens, and it just scares the crap out of you.
And I haven't played it since they added
like
all those new ghosts. Yeah, like all the new stuff. Last I played was when they added like added the school, and I think there was another big area that they added, the asylum or the prison like that. The prison, yeah.
Well, yeah. So that's again depending.
I don't think the prison. I don't think I even played the prison.
That's what I was about to say. So the prison was the 3rd edition. So they had the school and the asylum, and then after that they added the prison. And I think that there's more now. I could be wrong. I think there's more places, and I know there's more ghosts.
There's definitely more ghosts.
There's more ghosts, and there's more types of ghosts, so they can do different stuff. So a mimic, for example, can. Apparently they'll only do like an actual like 2 or 3, but they'll do like a couple of like the other ghost things too. So it's kind of like to throw you off. It'll mimic other ghosts. And I'm like, oh, cool, that's crazy.
Great. Yeah.
So this game is like you guys are like the paranormal people going through trying to figure out like what ghosts and what thing. Okay.
Yeah. So you've never seen her play this, Goof?
I've seen it. I've never played it. Okay.
All right, Goof. Get it? Well, I'll play tonight.
I would love to. Actually, I have work.
No, it's all good.
I would actually really love to. My one question to you is, so you said something about PlayStation. Now, do you have your VR through your PlayStation or through your computer? Because I've been actually thinking about getting a VR for my computer.
I do have both. So
okay.
So PSVR and Oculus Rift S, because I wanted to have it all wired to my computer, so we'd use my computer's capabilities aside from like a normal headset, like its own capabilities.
Okay. Yeah, because I'd be one of those guys where I'd have the VR on, and I'd have the camera on myself while I'm VRing. And some jump scare, and I'm going through the wall, like I'm actually running.
Yeah, totally.
Tripping over your bed and chair or whatever.
1,000%. That would be me. 1 million views in one day. That's how we do it, guys.
That's so funny.
You just biffs it on the floor, and there's your million right there.
Yeah, that's it, man.
So that game, Phasmophobia, Goofy, just a little bit of a rundown as far as what is involved with that game it is like you're a paranormal investigator and you're running a squad. You can be up to a team of 4 people, and you've got like all the different devices. You've got the thing that'll detect
EMF,
like infrared, EMF. Yeah, there's all different kinds of ways to detect, and you've got all this stuff in a van. So you've got to go and take all this stuff in, go inside the house, and try to figure out what kind of ghost it is by all of the detection equipment that you have.
Okay.
And while this is going on, you can communicate with the ghost. You can talk to the ghost. The ghost recognizes words, so the microphone is key in this. And there's a communication where you can talk to your teammates via the in-game
walkie-talkie, whatever,
right?
Okay.
And the walkie-talkie in-game will actually, ghosts can pick that up and hear you. And the ghosts can kill you in the game, so it's really creepy. You got to figure out what the ghost is, get all the clues.
Ghost deaths, I think, are the creepiest part about it.
Yeah.
Because I've seen some of them where it's like the hands come like around like the eyeballs or something. Yeah. I'm white, but I ain't that white, man. I'm out. I'm out of there, man. I'll tell everybody there's things that I'll fight for and I'll die for, but that ain't one of them. Peace out.
He's gonna open the door and be like, "No, you're going to die in here," and just turn around and leave.
Be like, all right, I'm gonna do the comms and what do you want to call it? Comms and camera guy. I'll be sitting in the van the whole time watching you guys die. Peace, love, and happiness. Sorry about
It's funny. It's funny because you can be that guy too.
Yeah.
You can set up the other guys can set up a video camera in the house, and you can sit there and watch from the computer.
Yeah, you can monitor their, how their sanity and stuff like that, and you can see motion detector sensors where their locations are. You can check the video camera feeds and do all kinds of stuff. Yeah,
checking the video camera feeds is one of the ways to get one of the ghost clues. So, like, you kind of have to. Yeah, so like you actually have to have a guy in the van sometimes. They added another device too. It's called the dot matrix. So it's just like a bunch of light beams. So and it'll show the ghost, but you can see it from the van, and you can see it in the house. But I think in the house it's not the actual thing. So you have to look at it from the van, I believe. I could be wrong.
I think you do have to look at the dots from the van, from what I recall. I didn't play that much with that tool, but I believe I was watching other people play, and they were in the van checking out the dots.
Yeah. So when you gentlemen die, I would just burn the whole house down, just let it go to pieces.
He's like, turn off the van, let's go, wrap it up. Who cares? We'll just guess.
Oh, okay. Send you guys to Valhalla. Sorry about you.
They killed all my buddies. It's probably a demon. That's all. We're just marking a demon. Who cares about clues? Monster. We're going.
You're a monster.
And that's how the game sort of works: is you guess which ghost it is, and you get money rewards for it. If you correctly identify the ghost, and then you use those reward monies to buy better gear or more gear for your next mission.
Okay. Okay.
Yep. And there's difficulties. There's easy, different levels of difficulty on the missions too, where the ghost can, doesn't hunt you for like 30 seconds or a minute, or it might start hunting you as soon as you go in, depending on like how difficult the level is.
So we had, one of the last times I played, there was a bug that, when the ghost kills somebody, it goes away.
Yeah.
So it haunted the entire time. It killed every one of us in one hunt.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was wild. I'm like, what?
Yep. I saw 3 people get murked by a demon like back to back to back before too in the high school.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Yep.
If you have to rate your the VRs, the one on your PlayStation or the computer, because I know you said there are 2 different ones, what would you actually rate them?
As far as like which one do I think's better?
Correct.
I personally like the VR better for PC because you have like the joysticks. You can actually walk around with them.
Okay.
So I do.
Okay.
I don't know why. So you can actually walk around with the joysticks.
What to do with my hands?
Put your hands down, Ricky Bobby.
Anyway, the car holds real nice,
If you guys don't know, Goofy was lifting up his hands like in the Ricky Bobby show. It's funny.
Yep.
He's got the Ricky Bobby Pit Crew shirt on. That's awesome.
So you'd say the VR for the PlayStation, that one actually doesn't have the joysticks, or
correct? You have to do like a point and shoot kind of movement thing.
Okay.
And I'm not really that big of a fan of it, just because it's really, I don't know, blocky, I guess.
Okay.
So like it'll like incrementally move.
But you saying, do you think it's because you're hardwired to your computer? It's a lot better that way.
I mean, like I was saying, you actually have joysticks to where you can walk around with the joysticks, like on a PlayStation controller. Whereas on the PlayStation version, it doesn't have joysticks, so you have to do like a weird like trigger thing that it basically teleports you.
Okay. Oh, I know what you're talking.
Yeah.
I've seen them where they point and then you had to click and then you jump.
Yeah, it does like a weird like arrowy thing.
Yep. I understand what you're saying now.
So like that, I just can't get my head into that. It's too weird. I tried playing Resident Evil 7 that way, didn't go very well.
That seems like a clunky way to move around. It's like
Yeah.
almost backwards.
Yeah,
Yeah,
instant
then-
transmission. You'll hold your
Pretty
fingers
much,
here.
right?
Like real life, that'd be great. You know, all right,
Mhm.
let's go.
Oh, that's a fat guy's dream right there. I don't have to get up and go walk around. I can just be like, all right, kitchen.
Pretty much.
The VR soda doesn't taste the same though.
No.
No. Not even close.
If you don't mind me asking, how much was it one for the computer? Because I've looked. There's some cheap ones and some expensive ones. You said you had the
I don't remember. I
Oculus,
think
correct?
I paid around 3 or 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Oculus Rift S, which was not the 2. I haven't really heard much about 2, so I don't know.
What kind of GPU you got, Goof?
Honestly, I can't recall right now.
Oh, okay.
Honestly, what I did is I told my buddy to pretty much
To build
give me
your
the
computer.
top-notch stuff.
Yeah.
Snazz it up.
2 years ago, I think. Yeah, roughly about 2 years ago, a year or
You
two.
did what I did.
Yeah.
Then you should be good. If it's about 2 years old and you got
Yeah.
top notch stuff, you'll be running VR no problem. You should be.
I'll tell you this much. I think I spent right around $2,000 for this computer. So
Okay.
So
it was,
he's got basically what I got, apparently.
Right.
yeah. I mean, I can look through it. I got True Gaming, MSI, GeForce, RTX. I think.
RTX? Does it say the
Yeah.
number?
No number
Oh, okay.
that I can see. Hold on. Let me get the. Oh, shit.
But RTX is going to be like a 20 series or yeah. So it's
MSI Twin Forza 7.
I don't know, MSI.
Well, that's
Yeah, I don't know.
GeForce RTX. So
that's part of the
Gotcha.
cooling system they got on there. So it doesn't really tell it'd be like a 20 something, probably like 2070 or 2080 or.
I mean,
I
I got
got
a box outside with everything
so.
that came inside of it. So
It's plenty good to run the VR.
Phasma. I mean, if you're running Phasma, like VR Phasma would be fine.
Yep.
I think VR Phasma, just in general, because of its more kind of like indie development, that it's kind of clunky, but it's just mainly because of development still.
Right.
So,
Yeah,
Okay.
the textures and everything that they have. I mean, it's not like a super high textured or detailed, or you're not drawing tons of grass or anything like that. So it's not super resource intensive. Like
they have updated it a couple times, like visually. So visually, it looks really good now.
Oh, okay.
So
I'll
I don't know
have
if
to
you've
check it out.
known that.
No,
Like the actual camera, like it's a video camera now. You can play the actual like video kind of thing on it. Like you can see,
Okay.
Example, you can move the camera around and it'll like show the screen moving,
Huh.
and like
Oh.
so like that'll kind of like flicker and stuff when you're being haunted, and that's
okay.
pretty cool. It like does like weird stuff like that now.
yeah.
They've added like a lot of little tiny details, and it just makes the game come together a little bit more. It's
Yeah.
pretty good.
hell yeah.
They've got
So.
things like Ouija boards in there. They've got the
I forgot about that.
they've got the voice recorder, so you can leave it and then the ghost will talk to you. Goofy,
Mhm.
like it'll talk through it. Yeah, that's how you get like one of the clues to figure out what the ghost is. It's almost like a rock paper scissors.
Okay.
Because you get like 3 clues basically to narrow down the ghost. So you find out what is what, and eventually you'll be able to figure it out.
Okay.
Yeah, and then like
Okay.
between the 3 clues, it can only be one type of ghost kind of thing. So
Right. Except for this, they got a mimic now.
yeah, except for that.
It's got 7 clues. Which one is it? It's the mimic.
So you buy the VR or whatever. Now, once you buy that, how you have to buy the games too, right? So it's just kind of like buying like a
Yeah.
What do you want to call it? I can't even think. Like a Switch, and then you just got to buy the games for it.
Yeah. Some
Pretty
games
much.
will support both though. Like Phasmo, you don't have to buy a different version. You can do VR or regular.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
Well, yeah, you're right. Pretty much, I think most, if not all, games are that way. If they're on both, I think it's compatible with both.
Most of
Okay.
them, yeah.
Okay.
Do you do a lot of you seem like you do scary stuff. Do anything with like VRs or any of that stuff?
Like I said, I attempted Resident Evil. That didn't go so well. Well, because of the clunkiness of how it moved, and then there's actually like incremental, like you can change your view. Like you'll be like a solid looking around in like a 360. They'll have like incrementals where it's like 15 degrees or like 45 degrees. It just got too much.
Okay. I got you.
There's that. There's another goofy game that I was playing. It's basically just like a zombie survival kind of game.
Okay.
But that was probably actually one of my favorite games, just because it's like super realistic as far as like, yeah, zombies realistic. No, as far as like the gunshots, like the audio is really good. Like the aiming, like how you aim. Obviously, you put the gun up in front of your face and you shoot it, but it like works really well. So that it's overall really cool. I'll have to get the it's called Survive, but it's spelled weird. I'll get you that later.
Correct. Yeah. I remember. There's a guy that I watch, Merp TV. Guy's hilarious.
Merp is the funniest, dude.
Dude, he's hilarious.
I love Merp.
But like, yeah, he plays a lot of VR, and so when I'm watching him, I'm like, dude, that's actually like that would actually be pretty freaking cool to do.
Yeah, it really is.
So it's one of the things I've been looking into.
Yeah. So I tried streaming Survive once, and it was weird because it had like the top portion of the screen from like here up wouldn't work, and then like from like here down was all you could see. Okay. And it was just like incredibly like it was like zoomed in, really weird, like 300%. Okay. It was just something stupid, like just some weird thing like that. Nothing worked visually.
That's unfortunate.
So if you stream, watch for that kind of stuff.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, because he does Last Life or something like that. I can't remember what the heck that game was called. The aliens or crabs on his head. That one, like I thought that.
Dude,
was
that Half-Life. His
Half-Life
videos were so funny. Dude. That's actually where I found him. When he did his Half-Life videos.
Yeah, like I saw him on.
I have
Facebook.
That too.
Yo, dude. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, how would you rate that game? Because if I did get a VR, honestly, I think I would do something like that.
It's kind of slow until it gets going.
Okay.
But I mean, overall, I really enjoyed the most of it that I played. I didn't beat it. I kind of lost interest because being pulled in many different directions at the time.
Yeah.
It definitely was a great game. I really enjoyed it. It takes place between Half-Life 1 and Half-Life 2.
Okay.
I want to say, I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
Which one?
Something like that. Alex, I believe it's called.
Okay. Yeah.
It's that. It's without Gordon. I'm pretty sure it's just before he arrives in the second one.
Okay.
It's something like that.
Got you.
Yeah, because the whole building thing's still there. So, and that was weird. Like the Half-Life games are great. Like they had Mr. X or whatever his name was, and like he was always like crazy, mysterious dude.
Yeah. Yep.
That like took you like between times.
Gordon Freeman.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
You get the little alien guys. Oh, the free man.
Yep. He sort of reminded me of the guy from what is it called? The Matrix. Miss Agent Smith kind of.
Yeah, completely.
Yeah. Yeah. He's very similar resemblance. I'm gonna pull this guy up if you guys haven't seen him.
Is it Mr. X or Mr. G or something weird like that? It might be G. X, I think, is Resident Evil.
Yeah, Mr. X, I think, is Resident Evil. You're correct on that one.
Mr. G, I think, is we're looking at.
Hurry up and pick him up, ugly man. Dude, Merp TV just kills me. Like I saw him on it was Facebook, dude. Facebook, and I was just like, dude, this guy is a great content creator. And he plays Escape from Tarkov too. And that's not a VR game. Yeah.
Yeah,
he's actually pretty good.
One of like my favorite things that he did when he's playing Half-Life, there's like the body hanging upside down, and he just claps his hand and just like high fives the body that's hanging there. Dude, it cracked me up so much. Yeah, that guy.
Okay,
G-Man, that's his name.
Yep, G-Man.
Right. That's
I guess he doesn't look too much like Smith. I don't know why it reminds me. Maybe how he talks.
Just how he is.
That in a suit, and then I don't know. He's kind of like a mixture of what do you want to call it? That's like Joker and Smith together.
Yeah,
right.
Joker without makeup on. Little shit ass smirk.
He's like, I know secrets of the universe. What do you know, man?
Kind of like half like Gollum too.
Right.
Dude's like, easy, man. I just want to create a cool, fun, loving guy.
Yeah.
So the Alex game was made after Half-Life 2, right? But it's supposed to go in between, like the
Correct.
timeline is. Oh, okay,
Correct.
I got you. Yeah, I didn't really look at it because it was only VR. They didn't have a regular version of that game.
Yeah. I don't think they planned on making that regular,
Mhm.
which is unfortunate because it's a great game and people that like Half-Life would definitely buy it. So I thought
Right.
that's kind of silly that they didn't do that.
Yeah, they didn't even
They
finish
lost,
the Half-Life 2 episodes that they were supposed to finish.
Yes and no. I finished the last of it, and like G-Man shows up. So I mean, technically, it kind of ends, but they're still supposed to kind
I
of
thought
keep
that-
going with 2.
Yeah,
It wasn't. There wasn't really
another
supposed to
story.
be there wasn't really supposed to be a 3. It was supposed to be still 2, but it was more
Mhm.
parts.
Right, and they
But-
didn't finish the parts. They added like 1 or 2 parts, and there were supposed to be more, I think.
Yeah,
and then
I think there's
Steam just
3
kind of took
total or
off, so they
something.
quit developing, I think.
Yeah. They're like, yep, no, we don't got to do anything anymore.
Yep.
Uh,
So for Twitch streaming, are you going to be looking to do that as like an all the time thing? Are you setting up a schedule, or you just do that occasionally?
Currently, occasionally, just
Okay.
between schooling and the other thing I got going on, and then Twitch, and then work, and then all the home stuff. So
Got you.
yeah, kind of a full plate. So
For content creation, is there something you plan on doing more so than others, like that you're going to stick with or have a long-term thing?
I definitely plan on doing so, but I just haven't figured it out quite yet.
Mhm.
So it's definitely there, and I wanted, like I said, to get back into it and do more of it, but just not sure where to go just at this moment. So
Gotcha.
I'm waiting on a couple games that I really want to play, but they haven't came out yet. So
Mhm.
waiting on those. Those would be great. There's one called They Are Here. If you guys like alien games, absolutely amazing. I played the demo for it like 3 times.
Mhm.
Probably like I can't wait for it to come out. It's gonna be so good. It's like the exploration of Resident Evil 7, but alien based. So
Okay.
so really creepy, really cool, interesting vibes. Definitely look
What's
it
it-
up.
what's the name
They
of
Are
it?
Here.
They were here. Or
They
they
Are
are
Here.
here. They are here. Okay. That's why I was thinking of the We Were Here game, and they had like a few different things. That's like a co-op game that looks kind of neat.
They look fun. I haven't gotten into it, but I kind of wanted to give it a try.
Oh, they are here. All right.
Yeah.
Indubitably.
Indubitably.
Of course, it shows that little girl on the TV, and she's touching him or not.
Right.
What was that? What was that movie?
With the
Poltergeist.
Yes, there you go. That's
Or-
it.
One of them?
The
The
Ring, maybe,
Ring?
but I think in Poltergeist,
No, it's
it's off of-
Poltergeist.
yeah.
Is it?
yeah.
Okay.
When we were, or when I was younger.
Well,
you know.
I didn't look up the picture. I didn't see which one you have up. So
Got you.
to be fair, not sure which one you're looking at.
Got you here. I'll do this.
Here, you do that, and I'm gonna pull up the Poltergeist screen.
Well, I got you on that, my friend. Yeah, I'm
Do the
sharing
things. No, I'm sharing it. Get out of here.
it. So
Okay, yeah.
You have it here, but then this is what I was talking about. The little picture
Okay.
with the girl.
That's funny.
That's like the Poltergeist.
And
Yeah,
this
man.
is this is the other one here. This is actually off of Poltergeist.
Yeah,
Those ones on
there
the
you
right.
go.
Yep. So then you got
See? So you
you
got,
got Goofy's. So yeah, it's
Goofy's
almost like a
little girl.
direct copy off of it.
yeah. No, shoot.
Get out of there.
Yeah. Stop sharing the screen. Get out of here.
Right.
Okay.
That is an alien one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that going down in the notebook?
No, I was looking to see what I had in the notebook for other stuff though to look at though. Yeah, so
You started streaming and you did a YouTube video of what you call it?
What's up?
When you went to what was that?
Yates.
Yates. Yeah. Yates.
Okay,
yeah,
so
that's what I was
those
gonna
are
go to.
that's what it looked like. Noma's is in his head. He's like, I'm going to say it. No. Okay. So those are going to be 2 complete different projects that I'm working on.
Right.
Okay.
Twitch is currently I'm going to eventually bring it to Twitch for just more content towards that, but it'll be under a new name and stuff like that. So jumping away from Emanating Shadow at the moment.
Yeah.
I have another project called Vicarious Escapades. So the whole point of that is for basically I want to go out and like kind of like explore around in nature and kind of other areas where like people grew up or like have like cool and fun memories of, and kind of show people that like aren't able to get out of the house anymore, like people that have some kind of physical disabilities, such as like one of my friends. She can't get out of the house anymore because she has a lot of like kind of restraints.
Okay.
I'm going to be basically going places live streaming, and like I'll have a chat up so people can talk and chat, and they could kind of direct the stream a little bit towards like what they want to see, or like, oh hey, like I remember that was really cool, or like what's down over there, like what's that, like zoom in on that kind of thing, or we could just kind of talk about whatever. So all sorts of stuff.
Okay. Yeah, I can tell you a couple. I can tell you a couple of great places that I went when I was a kid.
I'm down.
I was actually thinking about going this year, personally myself. But it's I know you went to Yates, so you're here in Michigan. But it's probably about a 3.5, 4 hour drive.
Mm-hmm.
But I went there as a kid every summer for probably about 10 years. Beautiful
Nice.
place, right up by Sleeping Bear Dunes.
Okay.
So it's a little far, but hey man,
What place is it?
Place. It's called Onekama, Michigan, but
Okay.
it's by Sleeping Bear Dunes.
Gotcha.
Okay.
And there's some very beautiful sights and different things like that. And I remember jumping off pier when I was a kid, going. My cousin Johnny, the country boy, right? Cousin Johnny would drive us around. He was probably in his he's probably in his late teens, early 20s, and we were all probably like 10 to 12. And he'd tell us to get out of the van and go run up this hill, the sand hill, at like 100 and something degrees. The sand is, and you can't say no to
burning
this.
you up.
Yeah, you can't say no to him.
Yeah, I remember that hot sand.
Yes.
So, but yeah, so like that's kind of like the whole point. Like, if you weren't able to get out there, go up there, like for some reason, or just haven't gone in a long time, like even if it's just a random person watching, like if it's something that you wanted to see, I could go shoot up there and just kind of give like a, hey, this is what's going on, this is what's changed, this is how it looks now, kind of thing,
Right.
So like kind of reconnecting those memories.
I think that's a great idea because, like, a lot of people at home, or even, held up with COVID and just different things, aren't getting out or going around as much. So I think it's awesome, especially for people that can't get out to places. Do you have any place or anything set up or scheduled for your next adventure?
I'm thinking Columbus Park, which is pretty close to Richmond. It's up to like, I don't know, if I had to guess, it'd be like 34 mile around there somewhere. Like 34 and 94, kind of relatively ballpark. So kind of just gonna go over there and explore a little bit over there. It's more kind of like the same you just saw. It's like a nature path kind of thing, walking around, getting out, exploring. That was a big place that an ex of mine, like when I met her, we'd go places and like go do stuff like that and go hang out. This is also the same person that is not able to anymore. So kind of want to go do stuff like that and kind of like I said, bring those memories back,
Okay. How frequently do you think you'll be doing that?
Currently I'm working on every weekend. I want to do that once a week, like on the weekend, where I know I'll have time. Everybody else will have time to watch, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not sure time slot. That might change a little bit just because I know the last weekend was pretty early, but that was also mainly because Mother's Day and stuff like that. So
right, yeah.
Now you just do everything. Course, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, in weather, determine. Go ahead.
Yeah, for sure.
My question is because I've thought about it too. You do everything off your phone?
That was a GoPro 9 that I have. I'm looking at another newer upgrade, but just because like you saw the distortion, I really don't care for that. It's too much. So I'm trying to eliminate that, but I don't know if I can do that yet.
Okay. And were you live streaming or no? You're not doing live streaming yet. Okay.
No, it is. Yeah, it's all going to be live the whole time.
Okay, so that's live, and that's going off of your GoPro, actually.
Yeah, so right from my GoPro, direct feed to Facebook. I'm having it all feed to Facebook currently, and
Okay.
then the video from that, I'm gonna upload onto YouTube. Thanks, other person, for your subscription, by the way.
Okay. Yeah, because I was thinking about doing like every Friday, just go to like a different disc golf course and play it.
Mhm.
And I was thinking about live streaming that, and I just didn't know. So you actually did it off your GoPro, because I have the GoPro. I think mine's a Hero 7 or Hero
Okay.
8. But you did yours, okay.
And for being live, I think they started with 8 or 9. I can't remember. So like
Okay.
that, the actual live streams, I think that started with either 8 or 9. I'm looking between a 10 or the DJI one, or I think there was another one that I was kind of looking at. So I'm not really sure which way to go with quite yet. But
So does that hook up to the phone via Bluetooth, or
Yes.
is it you? Okay, so it connects to the phone for Bluetooth, and then you use your phone's data plan
correct.
to stream. So a couple things in that is your phone would have to have a good and fast enough data stream to support the
Another
stream.
issue.
Yeah.
Right.
Plus, I can tell you this from having my GoPro 7, I actually go through a decent amount of batteries when I actually play disc golf.
Mhm.
Right.
So I know it was through the cold and everything. So I know
Yeah.
that doesn't help. But how long do you actually get on your
So
batteries?
it seems it's about an hour long, and that's
Okay.
kind of what I was looking for the stream as well, for it to be about around an hour.
Okay.
So hopefully, I'm trying to keep it over an hour, but battery's willing, because if battery dies, then it's stream ends. So
Correct. 'Cause that was like one of my things, because I was gonna have I was thinking about doing it through my phone and then having one of those external battery things where I can just hook up.
yeah, and that's what I was kind of also thinking too, because then that would also eliminate the distortion too, which would be nice. But
Yeah.
Correct.
it's all a bunch of stuff I'm kind of, because this is new. Like I came up with the idea of this like 2 weeks ago or something.
Right.
So,
Correct. Yeah. I mean, it's
It's a work in
amazing
progress,
idea.
well, thank you.
I'm picking your brain. Just a
No,
little
it's
bit.
good.
'Cause-
Thank you. So, like I said, it's all just work in progress currently. So, over the last week, I actually got the whole page and everything going, like since like basically last Monday.
Hell yeah.
So,
And I really like this idea too, as far as the interactivity, because that's the idea, is vicarious escapades. So if you're watching the live stream, you're able to communicate and participate. So he's watching chat and reading and things like that. And if you see something, you'd be like, oh, go check that out. Or hey, what's that over there? So you can sort of control what he's doing,
Yeah,
and I think that's really awesome.
that's a major part of it, because like I
Right.
said, I want it to be like as connected as possible for you to be there, kind of thing. I totally hit my head on that branch, if you didn't see that, by the way.
I know I did.
I was just about to say that I'm watching this nice little video, and I'm just like, dude, there's a branch that you just like go straight to the dome.
Yeah, I mentioned that in the stream too. It was funny.
Mhm.
I was like, oh man, the tree just attacked me.
And I think someone
Yeah.
in chat says don't hit your head or something right before it too.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
I think just weird timing with that. I ended up doing
Yeah.
it like, and then just the audio came through because I was reading it off my phone.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
So the stream on that is kind of like when you stream to Twitch. So there's that delay.
Correct.
Yep.
So it's like 20-second delay or whatever, and then so that's why a lot of the stuff is delayed. If you're watching chat, like if I'm
Right.
doing it live, that way you kind of know there's a delay and stuff like that too.
Yeah. So the
Gotcha.
response isn't going to be instantaneously. It's going to
Yeah.
take them about 20 or 30 seconds to see what you say, and then it'll get back to you. So it's kind of like a delayed conversation, like you're sending.
Hmm. But it definitely lasted. It went really well for the first time doing it. So
yeah,
Yeah.
I thought so too. I was impressed. I was really happy. I wish I could have stayed and like participated a lot
for sure.
more. But
I
go
was
ahead.
gonna say, just when I get a time, when I think of a time for the next one, I'll let you know. So
Yeah, absolutely. Keep me updated. I think this is awesome, and I'd love to see more of this for sure. And like you said, getting started out and iron out some of the issues maybe with it and have it clear
Mhm.
is sweet.
yeah,
Right there with
I
you.
think the actual clarity issue was mainly just one, compression to YouTube, because I took this off
Yep.
of Facebook. So compression
Yeah.
from that, compression from just getting everything going.
Yep.
The data issue itself with my phone. But
Yeah,
I mean, overall,
and
like,
It's not bad. And the thing is it's only going to get better, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
It won't get worse. So that's the starting point. It's a good start, I think.
Correct. I would have to concur. You know, it's something that you just started off with. You're gonna find kinks and different things like that. You know, you're making, you know, like you said, you're putting this on YouTube, and now you're seeing that the distortion from Facebook Live to that is totally different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just some of the things that you're gonna figure out. Because
for sure,
I've done pretty much the same thing. Like me personally, like I've been I'm contemplating of doing YouTube and stuff like that also. And I haven't started anything up yet, but I got everything in the line, but I'm like, I want it to be pretty decent when I first start.
Yeah, for sure. And that's always the hard part too. You're like, all right, where's my standard going to be? You know, like, is it going to be low? Is it going to be high?
1000%. You're like, oh, I want this to be like professional, but you're like,
for sure.
I've never done this before. So you're like, oh, I'm afraid to do it, but I want it to be good. I want to do it. And then,
Yeah, and honestly, I think for starting a Twitch, I think that's the absolute hardest thing about starting a Twitch. Like getting everything set, and then once it's even set, it's like, okay, well, how do I keep it going? Like once it is set. So I kind of like this more just because it's like there's a lot less pressure. It's honestly like you're not playing a numbers game, you're just doing it, you know. Whereas that's how it should be with Twitch too, but we all know in the back of your head, you're like, all right, viewers, where are they at? What's going on? You know?
Yeah. I mean, because that's one of the things. Like I sat there and I told people, like, when you stream or do anything like that, they're always like, "Well, what keeps you going, and why do you keep doing this and all this other stuff?" And I'm like, honestly, I just play video games, man.
Yeah,
I hang out with friends and I just play video games. And if you come in, you watch my stream, like you come and watch it, and if you come hang out and come a part of, you know, whatever we're doing, you know, No Same Presents or any of that.
Yeah,
stuff,
definitely.
Just here.
The other really nice thing about being able to do that is like if you are playing with friends, if like you start out you're just playing with friends, then it's such a different thing to where like if you're playing solo without anyone, it's just like it's a complete different thing.
Yep.
So it's always nice playing like multiplayer games like such as Rocket League or whatever. Even if you're losing, like it's still fun because you're losing with somebody you know.
Yes. I can't say how many times me and Gnome, like, Gnome's amazing at the game. I love playing with Gnome. Gnome's awesome. But it's like, all right, cool. We're just joking around, having a great time. And then we're like, all right, man, we have 1 goal to their like 6. All right, now we need to start playing. It's like 20 seconds left. Like, yeah, we got this, bro.
Yeah, it was wild. I actually had a friend that I play with, and we'd be down like that every time. Then like we'd be like, oh hey, we need to pick up, and we pick up and win. Every time. It was wild. Like we came out the gates, it would be like they would have 4 points on us and we'd win.
Right. The comeback kids just making that comeback every time. I love that. I love the comeback win.
Oh,
yeah, it's great.
Same here.
Like, all right, let me turn my monitor on right quick.
A little bit back on the vicarious escapades. I got a question having to do with that. And it's something that you sent me, and I didn't get a chance to look, and I figured I'd just ask you because other people might be interested in this as well. Now, we were talking because you went to Yates Cider Mill, and now where he went initially is just outside of Yates, up Paint Creek Trail, and down the river and things like that, not actually at the cider mill due to not knowing what laws and legalities there is with filming in public. And you sent me something that cleared it up. Do you have any insight into that? I didn't really read it yet. Can you tell us like what type of problems you might run into? So
I kind of read the article. It is basically saying that according to ALCU, I forget the whole abbreviation, but basically like that place is a public place. So it's public on the outside, but if I were to go inside, it's privately owned. Okay. So if they were to tell me that I can't video and stuff in there, then I can't, you know? Right. So like they still have their own rules for it. If it's like on the property, like it's its own property still kind of thing. Whereas it really just depends on like what their limit is, I guess. But at the same time, like where we're outside like this, I don't think that the same rules apply. I'm pretty sure that it's more like this is general public area. Gotcha.
Correct.
And then it's like, obviously, like you can't go in like bathrooms or anything like that either. Obviously, right. Well, you can, but you'll get in trouble.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. 100%. Legally, you can't. Physically, yeah.
But from my understanding, like what you're coming from, like if you go inside the building, like you said, it's still a public like place. But if
Mhm.
they tell you not to video, it's the same thing as like you walking around. So as long as it doesn't say private, I think you're good with videoing until
Mhm.
they tell you can't.
Correct.
But I personally don't think that they're going to do that because they're getting publicity pretty much for free.
Right. A
Yes
lot
and
of
no.
places will look at that.
A lot of
Correct.
places will, and then they'll determine like, I don't know, we still don't want this kind of place. Like I watched a video from a very well known content maker. They got kicked out of Walmart. So
Yes, I mean, well, it's a public place until you do something wrong or that they don't like. Then they
mhm.
can say, "All right, now it's private," and if you don't want to leave, then they can bar you or something like that from another.
Yeah.
You know, you can try to you can try to video in there until they tell you not to.
Mhm.
But you can still post it and still live stream and do different things like that until they tell you not to. Then you have to leave.
Yeah,
No,
and then it's
no.
unlawful for a cop to take away your footage and stuff like that as well. So
Correct.
unless you're being actually taken, but again, if you're being taken, then you're still subject to private, like your own privacy stuff. So they can't just
Yep.
go through your stuff without a warrant either. So, and that's more of kind of what was in that article I sent you.
Got you. And that's good to know too, in case anybody's trying to give you problems to kind of
Mhm.
know what you can do. This
Yeah.
Yep.
kind of good information on that. Now, what did you see anything about filming people's faces? Like is that a thing?
There is a thing on it. Uh, Completely lost what it was though at the moment.
Got you.
I think it's like if you're intentionally trying to get like stuff of them, like a private kind of conversation or anything like that, then you can't do it. But if it's
Got you.
like a pass buyer and you're not like trying to engage with them and like stuff like
Right.
that, then you don't necessarily have to, but it's kind of almost still somewhat suggested in
Got
case.
you.
But I
Right.
mean, like in this video, I was turning away from everyone too. You know, like I
Right.
was trying to avoid everyone. Whereas
I
you can
feel
see, like
weird.
I'm crawling in a bush. You know.
Right. That's the part of me that might make me feel a little uncomfortable doing it, is other people around and them being suspicious of what my activities are or something,
100%. So I had my GoPro like on my head, and I had an external mic plugged into my GoPro, so I had a wire hanging down off my head, like in front of my face, where people are probably like, "What is this dude doing?"
Right.
And now
Did
you
anybody
climb
look at you
it.
weird, or did you get any awkwardness or anything like that? Or
Not really, because I again, like I said, I was kind of turning away from everyone, so I don't really know. But
okay.
I mean, I'm sure in general they were, yeah, but
Yeah.
I don't know for sure.
And I think over time that'd be something you'd get more comfortable with and understand people's reactions a little more normally when you're doing stuff too.
Yeah.
So it might be something over time that you figure out, because that'd be the weird part for me doing something like that. It's
So
just with other people.
I don't know if you saw that right there. I was going to go across that beam, but I felt it shake.
Yeah.
I was like, no, we're not doing that. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, I saw you going around that fence and everything. I was like, oh man, this is
so a long time ago. I went over that beam, like I was on that little thing quite some time ago, and I looked back like up towards that little waterfall right there.
Yeah.
And like I was shooting pictures right there, and yeah, but like now it's not really suggested that you do that.
It wasn't safe before. Now it's not really safe at all.
Yeah. Right.
Have you thought about doing any urban exploring that way?
I definitely would like to, but I don't know where to go. Two, there's a lot of shady stuff out there. Like once you start getting into stuff, you're like, I don't know about this.
Yeah, I mean, some of that urban exploring part of it, the draw to it is because it is in places that you're not supposed to go to.
Yeah, well, I mean, like there's that, but it's like then there's people that are there that don't want you there. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
So it's like there's a danger aspect to it as well. I don't know if I'm ready for that quite yet. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So
yeah,
like I would definitely love to. So
got you. I know some people that are into urban exploring and might be able to get you a connection for some information about that for local
that'd be cool.
urban exploring, maybe. One thing though, I could maybe recommend as far as the urban exploring area is maybe getting a geocache adventure, trying to look up geocaches and go find those live. That might be kind of a neat thing or a way to try to explore and discover.
That would be pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll give you a little bit of insight, legality wise. Go buy some waders. sit in the water, and you can actually walk the river, and nobody can say shit to you.
Really?
Yes, because they don't own the water. Because
yeah.
I've actually. So this is what happened. Okay. I got pictures of it. Me and a couple of friends put waders on. We went fishing, and we walked up this whole river. And on both sides, there's private property everywhere.
Yep.
We can't get on as soon as you touch land, that's when it becomes illegal. But you walk up the river, it's legal for you to actually do that. So if you wanted to right here, go into the water and just literally walk as far as you possibly can. They DNR doesn't do anything again. Nothing. Not a damn thing.
Here's the thing: you might run into issues with doing that with a live camera because there are laws about recording on people's private property. So,
but if you're on, it
doesn't matter where you're at though. If you're recording video and you're pointing it at people's private property,
right at
if you look up photography laws, yes, you can.
Yes.
Okay.
If you're on legal property, so say private property, but you're standing on a public place, you can actually stand on the public area and film or video or take pictures of the private facility.
Okay.
And they cannot do anything about it.
Got you. Okay. Because
it's weird, but
with like the home surveillance cameras and things like that, there was things where you can't point your security camera at someone else's house.
Surveillance is different. There is a different set in that is also in that whole thing I sent you.
Okay.
So I thought that was cool that they included that. I was like, oh, really? Like I didn't even think about that. So it was cool I read that.
So you can do it on property, but you can't do it at houses or windows for surveillance.
Okay. So if you're walking, like if their house is there, you just can't like point at their house and start recording. But you could like do their whole land and stuff. Is that what you're saying?
I didn't read
for surveillance. So like you can't have it like pointing at the windows. Like so if your house is next to somebody else's house, you can't point the camera directly at their windows to try to like spy on them.
Oh, okay.
You have to point it like down towards the ground, towards your property / theirs, but you can't point it directly at their house.
Okay.
From my understanding of the law.
Right.
So I don't know the last time you guys have been to Yates, but that's probably about 4 feet tall right there.
Yeah.
They used to be probably around like 8.
Yep.
So I'm kind of curious if it's just because that all filled in with like a lot of rocks and stuff from over, like just being pushed out over it.
No, actually the water's been like, I know we've had a lot of rain, but the water's actually been down a little bit. So, because I remember 2 weekends ago when I went out fishing, the water was down probably a good foot out in Elginak. So,
but even with that being down, like that actual retainer wall that's built up underneath that used to be way high. That retainer wall is like really short now. So I'm wondering if the actual ground level filled in.
Huh. That's weird. Like it sunk or something.
Something, yeah, it's weird.
That or
just the distance of the height. Like, that's I guess it's possible.
I mean, because I know dams and different things like that, they have to go off of what the water line is. I don't think they can actually lower or raise it. So maybe you're correct. Maybe it did fall down.
Maybe there's just some weird thing that happened with it. It might be controlled higher up too, you know.
Or if water levels are different, it might appear to be higher or
possible
because the water's higher or lower.
Yeah. Or it could be that that one effect. I forget what it is. You think it's something, and you go and actually it's different.
Oh, like when you're 5 and things are huge, and then you're big, and then they're little when you're an adult. You're like, dang, that couch! It was so big when I was little. And like,
I blame the moon. The moon did it with the tide.
I was gonna say aliens.
Your wizard Harry.
The tide controls dam levees now.
Yep.
That's hilarious.
So you actually don't, because I did watch a little bit of this video or whatever, but you actually don't go on Yates' property because you didn't know the legation.
I walked around like around the building kind of thing, like on the property kind of, because I was walked by the goats. They had little goats, and I made a goat joke.
What's the goat joke? You have to share.
I was like, how many goats do you think are named Billy? And then like the person in the comments said like a millions, and I'm like, all the goats.
All the goats are named Billy. That's too funny.
And so I went there, and it was kind of cool that they're doing all this construction there because it again
That's it
illustrated
right
the whole
there, right?
like part of the point of it. To the left, right there, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's the building that they do all the cider
Yeah.
not
They-
all the cider anymore. They used to, but now it's so big that they probably do an off facility, and then that's where they make the donuts and have the cider and all that other stuff.
Yeah, I walked in there for a quick sec. It was pretty different from like when we were kids. Like, yeah, it's definitely when we were like really young, they used to always make everything there. Like you could see the apples and everything getting crushed. It always smelled kind of funky. And like it was just it was a complete different thing. You're always like, oh, like those apples are weird, but at the same time, you're like, but there's donuts and cider.
Yep. I'll tell you what, getting around, what would that be? September, October-ish area. You go there, get them fresh donuts, man. Sheesh.
Oh man. So I'll either go there or Blake's for their hot cider. Oh man.
Yep. Yep. It is definitely something. You always got to get 2 dozen, one of plain, one of sugar.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably at least 20 pounds on me right now from Yates. Or
just thinking about it too.
Yep.
Right. I think I gained a couple pounds on the just vicariously.
What did you do to us?
In all honesty, I'm thinking about going there tomorrow.
Right.
No, give me your address. I'll send you some, bud.
Sounds good. Some cider and donuts.
Yes, sir. Oh, but yeah, dude, it's actually pretty cool. Yeah, they have the goats and different things like that. If you say that you just kind of do the little walk around, they have a up here to the right. They have aisle that you can actually go down. It's I'd say probably about a mile
down this path kind of thing right there.
Yep,
that's what I did.
Okay.
So yeah, I took that back all the way.
Okay, yeah, because then it goes down there. Normally, you get people down here on the right. You see ducks and stuff like that. You might get some people fishing, and because
that Paint Creek Trail there is pretty much a straight shot from Pontiac to Metro Beach.
Yep, it goes pretty far.
Yep.
What, this trail?
Yeah. The Paint Creek Trail that runs by the Paint Creek there.
I'm kind of curious if it's not the Paint Creek Trail. I think this might be something different because it doesn't go all the way. Like it actually
that one might be. Yeah, that one might be.
So I think there might be one just north of that.
Yep.
Yeah, because I was going to say this one stops. I'd say about a mile down.
Yeah, it's about. Yep. Yeah. But of course, I did the off-roading one. So.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
Back in the day, a couple buddies of mine, we actually went here, and I'd say about quarter way to halfway through, there's a bunch of rocks, and it's kind of like lower end, water-wise and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We actually went traveling across, and one of my buddies fell and put his foot in, and he said to fuck it, and he ran after us, trying to grab us and throw us in the water. So, these trails and everything, like the venture and all that other stuff, dude, it's pretty cool, man.
Thanks.
Now, are you do you have somewhere where people can recommend places for you to go for that? Do you have something?
I don't have a thing set up yet. So, okay. But I definitely am taking suggestions. If like the whole Facebook thing is set up for messages, so if you message, then we can.
Okay. Yeah, I have to set up a Facebook account still. I'm gonna set up a Gnome Saying Presents one. I don't get into social media like that, so I don't even have a Facebook account. But I'm gonna get one set up to do that.
I would only have. See, I'm kind of avoiding those people. I would only have a Facebook for like professional stuff like that kind of thing. Like it's not really worth having like an individual one anymore. So it's pretty lame, I think. But
honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I do it for events. If somebody they post some kind of event that they're trying to just do a
big
mass
get together or something. Yeah.
That, and then the other thing is, I'm not gonna lie, at work, I go to the videos, I put on Judge Judy, and I listen to her because she's just funny as hell, man.
Judge Judy is the best. I love listening to her stuff.
She's legit with everybody, and she's great. But,
is that on Facebook? Like you listen to Judge Judy through Facebook?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. I go here. I'll do it right now.
They got everything on there.
Okay.
I just go hit Facebook, and then there's a watch thing. You just hit that, and then I go up in a search thing, and I put on Judge Judy's on right now, man. I just hit the watch thing, And then
Yeah.
literally, I just hit the little thing and I just listen to her because you're working 8 hours a day, 8 to 10 to 12 hours a day, 6 days out of the fucking week, same music over and over again. It gets boring.
Mhm.
Right.
So that's kind of where the cameras start getting not as good quality. So it was losing a little bit of reception.
Yeah.
Yeah, once you get down there, because that was another thing of mine too. Like if I do the live streaming or something of another like that through my phone, once you start getting to some of the different disc golf areas, there's not too much cell service or anything like that.
And that's probably going to be like my next thing I'm going to really look into. So
A satellite phone.
Sure. I'm just gonna plug into Elon Musk's satellite. I'm gonna have him shoot a thing up into space for me.
That sounds good. Yeah.
Just jack into it.
It'll be linked directly to Twitter. That's it. You'll just connect to Twitter fast.
Because I know some people that do like the live streaming and different things like that. They have like an own personal backpack that actually has like a booster cell or something of another like that, and then like a couple extra batteries.
Okay. Yeah,
I mean,
definitely something to look into.
Once you start doing that, it gets a little expensive, but
I mean, it's all for experience and fun. So
right. Yeah, don't get me wrong. Like when I first started streaming, I did it all off the Xbox, and then I'm like, all right, let me do extra shit. Now I'm like, hey, let me invest $2,000 in a computer and see how that goes.
As that old guy from Jurassic Park said about the expenses.
Yeah, spare no expense. John something. I forget what his last name is.
Oh yeah,
I lost it.
Only the best. We spare no expense.
Yeah, spare no expense.
So, what are some other things that you like to do besides streaming and going out and hanging out?
Fun stuff. I also have a photography business that I'm currently working on. I started all that before doing anything else really. So I've been doing that for quite a while.
Does that photography business have anything to do with photoed motors?
Yeah. So specializing in car photography.
Here's why I ask, just so everybody knows out there, is in the application process, I ask people to tell me some other things that we can talk about, and he put photoed motors, and I don't even know what they are. So enlighten us. That is
the business name. So the whole point of that is I specialize in car photography. So it's a photo motors, the car.
Oh. I was thinking a lot deeper into it than
No, I
didn't know it was your business name. That's awesome.
I tried to be deep while being shallow at the same time.
Right.
So I have I got a bunch of like funny little jokes on my car. If you've seen it, they're usually most stuff I'd have to explain, but I have a Honda Civic, and on my gas door I have a box of rice being poured into a bowl. So that is the fuel.
Let me see.
Do you have a picture of your car? With the jokes on it?
If you head over to the Instagram.
Instagrams. Well, you can pull it up and share it if you want.
Here you go. Here, I found it. I found his cars right here. So go ahead.
Does it have? Okay.
I'm sharing.
Let's see.
Yep, right here. This is
exactly. That is it, man.
Newer model Honda Civics right here.
100%.
Oh, that's too funny.
Oh man.
Put that up real quick.
Goofy as the jokes today.
I didn't even know. I should have had the comments up. My buddy John commented.
Right. How do we?
With an exclamation point, just showing he's in. Thank you for popping in, John. If you're here, appreciate you.
How do we do this now?
I apologize.
Just screen sharing.
It should be bottom.
I got
and
it.
Click one. Yep.
Yeah. Sure. We'll do window.
Dun, dun, dun.
Hit that. Yay!
There we go. All right. So these are some of my photos.
All right, hold on. We'll pull them up. There we go.
We'll go back up to the top.
Oh, okay. Hell
So
yeah.
my stuff. This is my car.
Okay.
Okay, so you actually have a newer Honda. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
19.
I'll give you credit because I was thinking like the old hatchback, kind
No.
of like with that Ford ST right there.
Maybe. Don't ask for password and
Maybe.
stuff. We'll be all right.
Right.
All right,
Yeah.
good.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't be sharing your password.
Yeah. All right, so we go to this, and there's my little box of rice right there.
That's actually your car right there.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Nice.
So he has the newer one. That's probably what the 4-cylinder turbo.
Yep.
Okay.
That is exactly what that is. I took my license plate off of that one.
Yeah.
See, I should have one on one of these.
So you have the Beamer. What else you got? ST. What is that? An old.
What you
Okay.
looking
Or
for?
Corvette. Was that a Stingray?
That is a Stingray. I'll bring this one up. This one's a Stingray.
Yep. Old Corvette Stingray.
Nice.
And
I mean, dude, they're great. They're great pictures, man.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I'm loving it.
There's this fun day.
No, my God. I hate you. I want that car. So bad.
Are these people that you did work for, or?
Yeah. So anything that's not my car are people I did work for.
Okay.
So.
Hell yeah.
Oh, let me scroll back up.
That looks good.
Yeah, they actually like. I'm not gonna lie, they're professional as hell, in my opinion.
Yeah. That's very nice. It's clean, dude. The angles and the quality and things like that, it looks awesome.
Like that, like you found the perfect spot with the spray paint and everything in the bag. Got the darkness around it. Like this looked professional as hell.
Thank you.
What Are you still doing that?
What's that?
Are you still doing that? The photography?
Yeah. So I just threw out a thing on Facebook to two groups I'm in trying to get some work. So the Mustang was a call from a random person. So that was actually really cool. That was an actual like legit 100% shoot.
Nice.
Okay.
So
that was
if people are looking to get photos from you in Southeast Michigan area, they could connect to you through your Facebook?
Facebook, Instagram, however.
Okay.
I think I have 2 other things as well. But I mean, Facebook and Instagram. Instagram's the best. It has all my everything on it.
Okay.
So,
Gotcha. Do you want to share your Instagram link with us?
Yeah, actually, hold on one sec.
Okay.
I'm gonna do one better as well.
Oh, one better. I like this.
Yeah. We're gonna go ahead and throw this up there all backwardsy. Not that you can see because webcams suck and I suck at holding. So that's my card. I have
cool.
I have the Instagram, the Facebook, and LinkedIn is the other one.
Okay.
And then where would I put the
Instagram? You can post it in chat, or you could send it to me in Discord, and I'll post it in chat.
Yeah, we'll do with that one.
How long have you been doing photography for?
Probably about 10 years or so.
Okay.
So quite a while. Long enough to not be bad at it, but still bad at it. Just kidding. Not too terrible. I really enjoy it. So
honestly, I'd have to say like those look pretty damn good, man.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Because like I have like an old I wouldn't say like the Fiji or whatever heck camera that is, but I was thinking about upgrading.
Okay.
Because doing like the whole YouTube and everything, and I already have the GoPro 7. I was thinking about upgrading to like some kind of what do you call it? Some kind of like legit camera, so like you can do the videos on it, and then you can also take the pictures too. Get like a double whammy.
Don't use that link; it didn't work.
Oh, it didn't.
Well,
don't use that link, guys. Stop.
It should work. I don't know why it doesn't. I don't know. The Google said it's wrong. I don't believe you, Google.
Uh-oh. Hold on. I'm gonna
I have to put my birthday in. Say what?
Oh, you know what? Yeah, the link should be fine. I think it's all messed up on my end.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna test it.
Are you 30 years old? No.
Spare no expense.
I'm 10. Oh no, yeah. I just had to put my birthday in. You're good.
John Hammond, by the way.
Yeah, yep.
John, I knew it was John something. I knew it.
There you go. Yeah, the link worked. You're good.
Okay.
So, I copied the whole the everything link from Discord, so it put your Discord information too.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm loving that ST.
That was my buddy's. He ended up selling it, but he had that red smile thing on there, and I'm like, dude, we have to do a Pennywise thing. So I was like, we need to get a balloon, and we got to do this like a whole Pennywise shoot. So it came out awesome. I really liked it.
Definitely looks dope, man. I had a buddy of mine. He had the ST.
Nice,
pretty fast, nice car.
Yeah, they definitely can be. And like my car, for what it is, they're pretty quick because they weigh like absolutely nothing.
Correct.
So from what I've been reading, if you put like a decent amount of like horsepower into it, it's a complete different car because it's just so light and you're getting more out of it.
Correct. It'll be in a hex. Yeah, because I think stock. I think he said it did like 145 or something.
Probably
150.
Mine was quick. I don't know if I'm allowed to say what mine was, but
why not, man? I mean, honestly, I'll tell you this: every vehicle I've ever owned, I've always topped out.
Really, I've never gone that fast. So,
the fastest vehicle I've ever had, I was very surprising, is a Volvo.
Yeah, dude, those things are tanks, though.
Listen, Volvo S60, 5-cylinder, non-turbo, did 135.
It's wild.
Nice.
What year was that? About
2001. I still have it.
Nice.
The truck. I have a truck and it's quicker, but the governor tops out at 105, 110. Sucks.
I've buck 15 on mine.
Oh, okay.
So,
I mean, it took me a country. It took me a country mile. So if you know what I mean, a country mile. But it took me a country mile to get to 135.
That's moving pretty good. That 135 is coming up on traffic. If you're on the expressway, it's almost like you're stopped. They're stopped. It's kind of wild.
Yeah, it's wild.
Oh yeah. I mean, the fastest I've ever been is 165.
Wow,
that's about where I got. That's about where I got right around there. That's crazy. Like you just go a little bit, you're like, and you're in the next lane.
Yep. It's so the fastest I've ever driven was like 135. That's the fastest I've ever driven. So I was in the car. I was not driving, but I'll say this much: I'm very happy that I bought my truck instead of the car that I wanted, because I probably would have a lot of tickets right now if I actually had if I had his little Hyundai, his little Honda Civic, I'd probably be in very much trouble. So
I surprisingly didn't pick one up yesterday. Like I swore that I was going to. So I don't know how I didn't. I don't know.
That same friend, we were out one night and in his Ford Focus ST, and we were doing illegal activity, driving very fast, and we flew by a state trooper on the interstate, probably doing about $130, $140. And the cop literally turned his lights on, started pulling out, and we passed him. He turned the lights off, pulled back in. Because you got to sit there and think. He's at 0 miles an hour. We're doing 140.
So they can only pursue up to a top speed as well, by the way.
I thought state troopers don't have that.
I thought it was just a little bit faster that they can go. But I'm pretty sure that they also have to stop because they also have to take into account health and safety for everybody else as well.
Right.
Correct. Yes. I remember that. I
could be wrong. The state might be different, but I know that for the general police, yes.
Yeah, general police, I think they have to stop. I think it's roughly right around 100.
I think it's 105, something like that. But yeah, pretty close to around there.
And I think state's like 130 or something like that. I think they get to go a little bit faster because they have a little bit better cars. And they're state troopers, so they're highway patrol. Yeah,
and I think that the highway patrol, there's probably more like extensive training kind of thing, so it allows them to go a little faster, which, who are they kidding? But I mean, like, still, like, not like almost even more than the general car now can do that. So I kind of laugh at that. So I'm like, at what point are you getting caught? Are you letting yourself get caught, or are you actually getting caught? Like,
I mean, like you said, the actual state troopers and stuff like that. Not
condoning
training. Yeah, correct. Not condoning. Not condoning. I'm telling you not to drive fast. Hey, Ricky Bobby, shake it. But no, they actually go through the training. So instead of Joe Schmoes like us driving and going the 130 and stuff like that, you do it once or twice in a lifetime. They actually go through training to do those things.
Yeah.
So that's what the reason why I think that the people get pulled over or like they can't, outrun the cops.
Mm-hmm.
Not me. Better put your boots on, boys. We're going for a ride.
Yep. So that's, I don't know. There's something about doing that though.
From what
Not
I'm
necessarily
seeing
fleeing or anything, but
from what I'm seeing as far as legalities on this from the police, just different sites. I don't have anything official on it specifically. But what I'm finding is that they can go as fast as they want. But they have to do it and be safe.
Correct.
So I mean, there's no top end for a cop. Is all I'm saying. But they might have like a department thing or something like, hey, it's not safe if you go this fast. But there's no law. Like they're not going to get in trouble for going too fast.
Correct. So from my understanding from my family and friends that are in the police, when they call it in and they're saying, hey, I'm at 120, 130 right now, that's when they have the higher ups that are at the station that say, yes, keep pursuing or no, stop.
Okay.
Right. Because are you on I-75 at 5 o'clock with all kinds of people, or are you on US 23 way north and there's no one around and it's like 2 a.m, that type of thing too. So however many other people are there.
Okay.
That's from my understanding. And when me and my buddy said doing this very crazy speed, we were on the interstate. I believe it was 75. And I believe it was like 2 a.m. Because it was very dark. Because the only thing we saw is the car come up, the lights turn on, and then that little dome.
It's funny.
He probably just like, I don't feel like spending 10 minutes trying to catch up, 20 minutes trying to catch up and calling.
Well, what the funny thing is my buddy was doing 130-ish, and he had it probably, what are those, six speed? 5? I think it was 6.
Mm-hmm.
And he had that, and then he legitimately, as soon as the lights turned, he dropped it down to 5th gear and whomped it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was funny. He's just like, there's two things you can do in that situation.
Yep.
You can nut up, take the ticket, slow down, get over, be like, all right, you got me, or go.
Well,
I've had friends go. I'm not saying I have or haven't gone, but stuff has happened.
I think there's might be I don't know if I can self-incriminate. It's too long ago. There's no specifics, but the time I drove really, really fast, it was over 160. Okay. I was driving in Michigan, and I was going west, and it was in I want to say, I think, oh man, I don't know what kind of car. If it was a Honda or a Toyota, it was one of those two. But the speedometer said like 230 on it. I didn't have it max, but I was going, and the place I was working for is while I was driving this. I had to deliver the car from one spot to another, and two things. One, I was going to be way too early. Like this half hour, 45-minute trip was only going to take about 10 minutes. The other thing was like, in case someone did see me, I busted ass for like, a good 10 or 15 minutes just hauling ass. And then I just got off and went down the road a little bit and went into a McDonald's like way down the way and sat and ate for like 20 minutes. I got off the road. I was like, if they're coming or tracking me, dude, I'm gone.
Yeah.
So that was my escape plan.
That's funny.
And I didn't want to get back to work too early, because if they found out that the trip took like an hour instead of 2 hours, they'd know I went way,
to kind of stop for a quick second.
Yeah.
I went to Detroit and had something kind of inadvertently happen like that too, like the on and off the freeway kind of situation.
Yeah.
I turned in the wrong spot. Like I passed where I needed to get off, and like I got off later down the road, and like I think I did a slow and go kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I think it was like
Detroit.
yeah, they're like, oh, don't worry about it, no worries. But so like where I was, I think I want to say the cop saw, but like it was some weird thing to where like I was able to get on the freeway where he wasn't able to, kind of thing.
Okay.
And like I didn't necessarily book it, but at the same time I'm like, all right, well, I kind of want to go in case,
Right.
But yeah, so it's funny. So I shot back down to the other exit and hopped off right quick.
Yep.
But like I didn't see any lights. I didn't see like pursuing, but it was just funny. I'm like, inadvertently may have happened.
Right.
So I have 2 personal stories. One of them
Do you always count like that?
Yeah,
2. Yeah, I do.
Okay.
You know.
1, 2, 3. All right.
I go 3 like this. Everybody was like, "Oh, 3."
And then 2. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I always do 2. 2 like that. That or this. Just the way I've always been. First story I would say.
Okay.
My mother lives in Indianapolis. It's normally about a 4.5, 5-hour drive. I've done it in 3.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
And the second story, same said friend. So I don't think I need to hang out with this guy, but same said friend. I had a '99 Explorer, Ford Explorer.
Okay.
Called her Dora. Love that car to death. We were at 9 Mile and in between Groesbeck and Shaner. There's a railroad track right there. Well, we're stopped at the light, and I was like, yeah, dude, I love this railroad track. You can get a little bit of air off it. And he's like, no, you can't. I was like, yes, you can. He's like, no, you can't. So he's talking me up. I'm talking him up.
Yeah.
Well, said light turned green, and Dora skeeted and took off. I did get air.
Okay.
But as soon as I went over the railroad tracks, there was a lovely cop right there.
Oh.
So said cop had to do the turnaround.
Yeah.
I hit Groesbeck down. By the time I got a quarter mile to about a half a mile down, the cop is turning the corner with the lights. I turned left back onto Shaner and then hit Stevens, did the back road, turned the lights off. Cop never came and got me. I was gone. I knew I was gonna either get a ticket or I knew I was gonna ticket, but either my truck was going to probably get towed, and I probably might have got reckless driving or something, which I believe they can take you to jail for.
Yeah,
it's
like
crazy.
Maybe when you're jumping the vehicle, that's a little bit off of normal driving situations. I had a similar railroad track where I jumped and I'll be quick so you can tell Emanating Shadow, but it was I think you're supposed to slow down. It's a 55-mile-an-hour road. You're supposed to slow down to like 35. I think I did it about 65 or 70. And I was in a 4x4-wheel drive GMC Jimmy. Short end of the story is I landed, everything was fine, but where I landed was in the oncoming lane. Like I jumped in the air and I was in the other lane in a 2-lane road. So
straight Dukes of Hazzard it. Nice.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Okay.
There was no traffic or anybody coming or anything. You know, we were safe.
That's wild.
We weren't safe, but we didn't die. So
I have one after Shadow. I have after one Shadow because you told me the other side.
Two that are kind of close to yours. So I'm pretty sure I'm not far from Nome. I made it from Mackinac down to where I'm at, about Rochester area, where I ended up stopping. That was about 3 hours from Mackinac.
Mackinac to here is what, normally about 6 or 7 hours or something?
I was about to say.
Yeah, I think it's around there. So
yeah,
it was decent.
Yeah.
So there's that. Then I know of a location. I did not jump. Down at like 13 and Van Dyke, going off like on 13 over Van Dyke, something like, not Van Dyke, Gratiot. The road just it like bumps up through like the cross section right there.
Yeah.
So like if you're going a hefty speed, you could easily jump. Easily. Anytime you go, like if you're going around 60, like you know that it's possible kind of thing. Like I would always hit it around 60 all the time. But it's like you could feel everything kind of lifting, like you're not off the ground yet, kind of thing. Yeah. But yeah, you go a little quicker, you're off.
I think I know of the area that you're talking about. There's also one at 15 or it's 15 or 16. I can't remember on Van Dyke. If you're on 15 or 16 and you're going across Van Dyke, they have the little whoops. Because there's so much traffic on Van Dyke, so it actually the concrete set down. So if you're going on 15 or 16 mile and you're doing about, like you're saying, 50 or 60, you get a couple whoops. You can get some air.
yeah, for sure.
You can, 1,000%. The one other story I will say, same said guy.
Another one too.
Yes, same said guy.
We'll go around. I got one too.
Same said gentleman. he was driving his ST and I was driving Dora. We're on Shaner, and me and him are going back and forth, speeding. Not safe. I mean, safe for us, but, not safe speeds.
Experienced speeders over here.
Yes. Well, I already knew his car could beat mine. His car was way faster. I just had a straight 6. He had a 4-cylinder turbo, faster, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, we're on Shaner, probably, I would say, close to anywhere from 15 to 13 mile. And we're probably doing about 90 down Shaner. Yeah. So what happened is I'm taking off. He's going back and forth, and he's just messing with me because all he has to do is barely tap the gas. He's in front of me. Anyway, Neon got in front of him, right? So he had to slow down. So I'm laughing. I'm like, I got you. And I'm taking off, Well, the Neon, I think I was probably doing about 60 at the time. So the Neon takes off because he sees that me and him are messing around. So the Neon takes off. So I took off. So me and now the Neon are racing. And now I'm probably doing about 70 and maybe 80 on Shaner. All of a sudden, a truck comes out of a residential area and cuts me off right in front of me while I'm speeding. Man. So I locked him up. I look over to my left, and there's no cars coming because if I locked him up, and if I didn't move over, because I was in the left lane, if I didn't move over, I was going to slam in the back of him. I was going to be toast. Like, this guy literally 20 miles an hour. So I locked him up, looked over to the oncoming traffic. There was nobody. Did a turnaround, right? My windows are down, had the sunroof open. Literally felt like Paul Walker when he was on the interstate and he did the turnaround. His hair is flopping. That's literally how mine was. And I went on to oncoming traffic. Didn't lay off the gas, right? I hit the brake. Didn't lay off the gas. Spinning tires. Took off the other direction. I literally did a turnaround, stop, and then took off. It was crazy.
Wow.
So the guy in the truck actually followed me for about 3 miles, literally right on my butt, trying to. He's like, you almost hit me, you dumb. We were dumb. I was young, early 20s.
I agree.
Right.
I'm not saying do this.
Right.
But he followed me, dude. I ran 3 red lights just to try to get away from this guy. Like, he was on my ass that hard.
Wow.
So I finally get back to the house. And my buddy's sitting there waiting for me. He was like, dude, that was the best thing I've ever seen in my life. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, dude, you locked him up and you did that turnaround perfect. Like, I've never seen anybody do before.
That's Ricky Bobby.
Dude, Ricky Bobby. He's like, dude, he's like, you did that turnaround perfect. He's like, he's driving by me doing like 20. He's like, all I saw was smoke coming out and shit-ass grin on your face. He was like, dude, that was the best thing I've ever seen in my whole life. He's like, dude. God. I was just like, hey, man. And he's like, well, I told him, I'm like, dude, that guy was behind me literally for a good like mile or two, literally tracking me down because I know he wanted to pull me out. He was an older gentleman. Mm-hmm. I was like, I know he wanted to pull me out, but dude, he was chasing after me and I was just like, fuck it. I just took off. And then he was following me. He was speeding with me because his truck was faster than mine. He had like a V8. I had a V6. But he was chasing me, and then finally, like, I came up to a red light. The first red light, I look left and I look right, and this guy was pulling up, like, right behind me, beside me, and he was starting to get out of the car, and that's when I took off the first red light. And then the second one, I didn't even wait for him. I just looked left, looked right, saw nobody there. And then the third one that I ran, he was behind me, and that's when he stopped after the third one. I was like, yeah, that's right. I was like, you ain't catching me, son.
That's crazy.
You would have gave me that old whoop your ass.
Right.
I deserved it. I'll give it to him. I deserved it.
Before I tell my story, then we'll get Emanating Shadow story on here because we got a few more on here.
I didn't have one.
I
did not have one. I'm good.
Oh, okay. We don't condone any of this. This is examples of behavior not to do. This is we're not to do. Right, exactly. This is dumb kid stuff, and we're not saying go out and do this. We're talking about the bad shit we used to do. So anybody out there, don't do this at home. Absolutely. Learn from our mistakes. We survived, but we were fortunate. It's very dangerous.
Yes, 100%.
Continuing on my story. The guy that was in chat here, I'm going to do the one that John.
Precursor to Gnome's story is a safety warning.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. So it's kind of like what was that little short guy that played Penguin in the Batman? So anyway, I just started blasting. Here's a safety thing, ladies and gentlemen. Danny DeVito. Yep. Here's the safety things. Don't ever do anything. Don't do the stuff that we're saying. We're young and dumb. But anyway, I started blasting.
So I was blasting. No, it was actually John, the guy that was in chat here earlier. And he's my buddy I reconnected with. I haven't talked to him in years, but he was like my best friend when I was younger. He had I forget what kind of car it was. It was a Nissan, I think. But it was his first car. It was kind of new to him. He wasn't too comfortable with driving it in the city at the time. I don't remember if it was a stick or not. But I was driving it in Ann Arbor, and that was the reason, because he didn't want to drive it in the city, so I was driving it for him. Ann Arbor's super busy. It's crowded there. We were right on Main Street. It was like the middle of the day. We were in the left turn lane, and no, I don't think we were in the left turn lane initially, but traffic started going and the light turned green, and then it stopped all of a sudden. And I hit the guy in front of me, and he bumped into the guy in front of him. And this is all like slow motion stuff. So it's just like a bump, no damage at all. Like it barely even feels it, just little bumps. But we stop right there. Everybody, the three cars that were involved, me, the middle car, and the front guy, we all stop and we're like, hey, everything's cool. That's fine. That's fine. We'll just go. No one's hurt. We're just going to go and get out of the road and go. Well, we decide to do that. The front guy leaves. The guy right in front of me that I initially hit, he stops and gets out of his car and he says, no, actually, I want to file a police report. We want to do this. So just follow me over to the police station. And, I'm driving my buddy's car. We're doing this. I'm like, okay, we'll do the right thing and we'll follow you. So we get in the left turn lane to go into the left turn lane to go down to the police station, which is just like a block away. We're going to follow these guys over there, and they get through the light and we don't. And I'm like, you know what? Forget this, man. I'm not going to the police station now. I was like, they're down the road. I was like, John,
no,
I'm going to gun it right when the light changes. Just tell me right before, and we're going to skip through here and get back in and go straight. So I did that and just busted through and beat the traffic and got through the light and went through and made it straight through. We looked down to the left to see these guys where they were at, if they were watching or waiting for us or whatever. And when we looked down there, they were looking for us going behind them. And while they were doing that, they didn't notice that there was a parked truck on the corner of the road there, and they smashed into the back of a parked truck.
Oh, Jesus.
Yes.
They were looking behind and
oh my God, that is priceless. So now you got away scot-free because they can't leave.
Yeah.
You got
yeah.
Man.
Oh my goodness, that's perfect.
Oh, so
you
funny.
Guys, oh man, you guys barely tap them in the ass, and then they go over there and just plow someone.
Yep. Like no one was hurt. There's no damage. It was unreasonable kind of to go do that. We should have just drove off. But
right.
It was so funny.
Oh man, that's great.
Yep.
I will tell you. I will say this because I know Shadow said he didn't have a story. The craziest story for me that I've ever personally heard is a guy I used to work with, Shua. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say. So you just think you'll know what his actual name is. Anyway, Shua ran from the cops twice within a week.
Oh, man.
The first time he ran away, he was on Van Dyke Express.
Yeah.
He was close to like either 24 to 31 mile, whatever. He was on the interstate. He had a Subaru. Cop comes up behind him. He didn't have any plates. He didn't have a driver's license. He had insurance, nothing. He just bought this car for like $500. He was driving it, right?
Okay.
Nice little all-wheel drive, whatever. Anyway, cop gets up behind him, and it was snowing. Cop gets up behind him, flashes his lights. My buddy's doing 60 on the interstate, goes in the middle median, turns around, goes in the opposite side of the interstate, goes southbound now, and gets off the first exit. That's how he got away from the
out of there.
Just literally just turned around as soon as the cop hits the light, because he saw him behind him. He said as soon as the cop hits the lights, he literally just went in the median, turned around, and then got off the interstate. Okay.
Jeez.
Second time, it was probably 23, 24 mile, whatever, right around Van Dyke, same area. Snow is gone. Cop comes up behind him while he's not on the interstate. He's on the actual road. He ran from the cops. Okay. He ran from the cops, drove 5-6 miles, whatever it was. Cops weren't behind him. He ran out of gas.
Oh, man.
Oh,
Ditched the car. Came back later on that night because they still haven't found the car. Came back later on that night, put 5 gallons in the damn thing, and took off.
Man.
So somehow or another, the cops did an investigation because they knew what car it was, and he had the old plates on it.
okay.
So they found the guy that he bought it off of, and he said, "Oh, I don't know who it is," because he was a real friend, right? No snitching. He knew who it was.
Right.
He's like, "Man, I don't know who it is." Well,
Just cash and title. That's it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So apparently they went through the whole spiel, and somebody snitched on him. They got the guy. They got his name.
Oh,
So
man.
the detective called him up on the phone and called him up and was just like, "Listen, we know it's you. We know that you ran this, that, and everything else. Listen, we're not going to take you to jail. We're not going to do any of that stuff. All you got to do is pay some tickets. That's it." My buddy Josh was like, "All right, damn it." My buddy Josh, whatever, Shua, told the cop, "Hey, I'm at this area." And he was up on some hill somewhere. And he said, "I know I left, I know right." He's 4 corners pretty much. But he was up on the hill, and he told the police officer, he's like, "If I see any cars but yours," he's like, "I'm gone. You'll never catch me." He's like, "I'll never come back to the state, this, that, and everything else." The cop's like, "No, we're just going to give you a ticket. You're not going to go to jail. This, that, and everything else." Detective came up, gave him a couple tickets, and he walked away.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
crazy.
That's crazy. That is crazy.
So children, by the rules, cops, don't run. Take your ticket. Take the butt whooping. Don't do illegal activities.
Right. Yeah, I've been busted, just as many times as I've gotten away.
Sucks for you,
Honestly,
nerd. Still not condoning, though.
Yeah.
I will say this. Out of all my years of speeding and driving dumb when I shouldn't have, my first speeding ticket was doing a 30 and a 25.
Dude, oh my God.
Ooh.
Mine was pretty similar.
And I was delivering pizzas.
Ouch.
Mine was similar. Up around like 32 and I don't know, Van Dyke area, somewhere around there. There's one little spot that slows down by the cider mill that's over yonder.
Okay.
And in that little slowed down area, I was going.
Oh, you're talking. That'd be 30.
Over,
that'd be 30 miles.
more over by Armada, kind of
Yep.
like between the two. So I'm up over there, like speed limit's 45. I'm like, all right, we're going 45. Blast through a spot that's like 30. I'm like, I hate you guys. And like, it wasn't even like an intentional speeding, nothing intentional.
No.
The dude came up to me as being a complete dick. I've been driving for about 12 years before I got pulled over. That was the first time I got pulled over. And he's like being all super aggressive towards me. I'm like, dude.
Oh.
I'm like, come on, dude. Like,
Right.
You got the rookie.
Yeah. Well, no, he's known for being that guy up in those parts.
Gotcha.
So like, if you go up there, you'll probably get pulled over by that guy. So
Hopefully retired by now.
I hope. But I mean, I don't know. At the same time, they're doing their job. They're keeping it safe. So
Correct.
Just don't be a butthole.
Well, it's also once you start getting into those smaller town-ish areas, and you go from open road to like down in the town, it goes from, like you said, it's like 60 all the way down to like 30.
And that's
you
exactly
gotta
what
watch
happened.
your signs. You have to watch your signs.
Absolutely.
The sign was hidden behind a tree.
Oh.
I came back, but you still have to know the road. You still have to know the speed on the road.
Correct. You do need to know the speed, but it also, if it was hidden by a tree, I would take pictures and I would fight that.
You might have been able to fight it.
I still went to knock it down, and he's like, "All right, I'll give you impeding and stuff like that." So I'm like, "All right, that's cool."
Yeah.
I think it was written up as like 15 over initially, and I'm like, you know what? I'll take impeding, no points. I'll pay you whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, it's cool, whatever.
Well, that's also another thing that the cops they're doing great things and stuff like that, but that's sometimes they get like money hungry things. Yeah. It's like all right, I could puff the chest out a little bit.
Yeah.
I could,
oh no,
I could take your vehicle and
blew all up.
I could do this and that because you're doing a horrible thing and you're breaking the law by this, but I'm gonna be a good man and I'm gonna be giving you impeding instead of taking your car and giving you these fines and putting you under jail. I'm like, man, just send me to jail then.
So the ticket was for 15. Like he wrote the ticket for 15, but you go to the court and do all the negotiating and stuff, and that's when he gave me impeding.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, that's the other thing too. Is like the cops, they go out and they try to get the
quota.
Not really the quota or whatever, but if you're doing bad things, like you're gonna get hit, like slapped, slapped really hard with all the litigations and all the fines and everything else. But to me, my personal opinion, I've had bad cops. My personal opinion, if you're cool with them and you're true with them, they try to help you out a little bit.
The only other time I got pulled over in Sterling Heights, cop was kind of like looking around, like he just asking a couple questions. I'm like, I'm paranoid of cops. Like nothing against him. I just don't like them. So he's like asking questions. I'm like, this is what it is here. And dude's like, you want anything? I'm like, no, dude, I don't like cops. Nothing against you. And he's like, oh, dude, no. He's like, we're cool, man. We're just trying to help out or whatever. I'm like, no, I get you, but it's just how I am. Like he saw I had like some like medicine. He's like, what's that? I'm like, it's this here.
Yeah, I mean, like if you're honest and truthful to them, so like this is what I'll say, because I actually did law enforcement class in high school.
Okay.
And I was thinking of becoming a cop. Me personally, if you ever get pulled over, to me personally, the first thing that you do, we're getting beanied.
Oh man.
The first thing that I would honestly tell you to do: pull over, turn the car off, throw the keys up, and then don't move a fucking muscle until the cop comes up. Make them more comfortable.
Yeah.
They know A, that you're not going to drive away, and B, that you're not rumbling around, because they don't know what the hell is going on. Personally.
Yeah, for sure.
So if you do that, it'll help both you guys out. Don't get me wrong. I've been pulled over quite a bit.
Then I always intend to get off the road into like a somewhat safe spot too, to help out that much more, Yeah. Like I would hate to be a cop standing on the side of the road where there's people going 50, 70,
Yeah. Don't drive too far, but try to.
Yeah. If there's something right there, I'm gonna stop right there. You know what I mean?
Like, oh, he's fleeing now.
Yeah. But so stuff like that, and then once they come up, like, don't get me wrong, I've been pulled over quite a bit. It still pumps my heart a little bit. Like when you get pulled over, you're like, damn it, I got caught, mother lover. Like, what they actually catch me for?
Yeah. Do you know? No, I don't, officer.
Right.
I don't know.
Do you know I pulled Joe over? I don't know. Was I speeding?
Right.
I have an assumption.
Yeah. I got pulled over for a tail light that didn't work. Yeah, I went out and looked. I was like, that's weird. It was working just fine. It was a 1973 Pontiac Catalina, and if those lights don't work, the blinker switch goes crazy.
Yeah,
because it's all in like a weird circuit. It's like
that's actually how they're on in all vehicles.
Yeah, it's supposed to do that so that you are aware.
Yeah,
and
well, the funny thing is though too is that like when you get cops, they're like, oh, well, you have a tail light out, and it's just like every single time you start your car, you're supposed to go around and double check everything and make sure everything works. I'm like, I've been driving for 30. I've been driving like 15, 16 years now or something like that. Like I've never started my car and then done a turnaround and walked around. It's like, you need to inspect your car. Like, nah. That's why you get paid the big bucks to tell me that I fucked up.
But then it's also like, well, officer, I know my car more than you do. So
yeah. Well, that's just like me. Anytime that I see like a car, like it's funny that like anytime I see a car without like a headlight or a taillight or something like that, I always like, if I'm driving next to them, I pull up to them and I try to like alert them.
Yeah, for sure. And
I would tell you 75% of the time, you always get the people that like, first off, they give you that weird ass look. Like, why is this guy like,
what do you want?
Hey. They like look at you. And then normally the 75%, they're actually pretty decent people. And like, oh, thanks so much. Or stuff like that. I've been cussed out about 7 times.
Man.
And I'm like, I'm just telling you got a tail light out, man. F you and blah, blah, blah. I'm like,
right.
I'm getting cussed out because I'm trying to help you out. Like,
Yep. That's so weird.
Dude, to me, it's the weirdest thing. It's just like, hey, you roll down your window, and then like they give you that weird look, like, what's up, bro? Like, what's up? Hey, man, you got a back taillight out. Man, F you.
They give you that shoulder lean like they're driving like from Fast and Furious. They're leaning.
Yeah.
Like, what do you want?
I literally look at him and giggle. Like, all right, now you're gonna get more mad. Like that I'm telling you that you got to go spend $25 to go get a taillight.
Yeah, right.
Wait till you get the ticket and then find out.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been pulled over a couple times for taillights and different things like that.
I got pulled over one time. It was great for a taillight, and the cop didn't give me a ticket or anything. He just said, "Hey, I want to let you know your taillight's out." I'm like, "Oh, yeah, well, that's cool."
That was my second pull over.
Yeah,
my plate.
I mean, some of them are cool, some of them aren't. You know, like I got a fix-it ticket, and literally the same day, like 2 hours later, cop pulled me over. Same thing. He was like, "You know the reason why I pulled you over?" And I'm like,
"This."
I held the ticket and then I held the light bulb, and he was just like,
"Yeah,
why don't you put it in?" I'm like, "It's a tail light," and I was like, from what my dad told me, because I think I was probably like 18 or 19. I was like, from what my father told me, he's like, you don't want to get the grease off your fingers on the actual light bulb because then it'll actually burn out.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I didn't have any gloves. I'm like, I know how to fix it. I was like, but I didn't have any gloves. I can't actually take it and touch it. My dad told me, he's like, "Oh, it's only for headlights, not the tail lights." So I'm like, okay. He's like, "All right, I'll give you a warning. Have a nice one." But he was just surprised. He was just like, "You know, I pulled you over." I'm like, "'Cause of this?"
Oh.
He's like, "Oh, yeah, you're right."
I had a brake line bust on me, and I rear-ended a guy. Geez. And it wasn't a bad rear end, I know, but it was enough where I was pushed on the brakes and then it went to the ground and I rolled in and it was another bumper, no damage. But the guy was just furious and swearing up and down at me. And I ended up getting the vehicle over by this little store and stuff. And the cops came there and he didn't write me a ticket at all on that one. But he says, we need to know that your car's working. Can you bring in a receipt or something showing that you got the brakes fixed, or bring in the mechanic thing, or how am I going to know? And I says, well, you're going to know it's fixed because I'll be driving it and being able to stop. I says, when you see me stopping, you'll know that it's fixed. And I said, because he wanted me to get a mechanic receipt. That's what he wanted. And I says, I won't be able to get that. And he says, well, how are we going to know? And I said, I'm going to fix it myself right here.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. I just brought the receipt. I drove right up there and I brought the receipts to him. And yeah, that was all that was too. Mm-hmm. So, but the guy was so mad. I think he did write me a ticket, but he got ripped up when I brought the receipt for the fix-it ticket.
Okay, yeah. So you had a fix-it ticket.
Yeah.
Like I'll tell you this: the one car accident I did have, and I hit this guy. He was driving Uber with a Mercedes Benz, and he was from Russia. Okay. I had my Volvo.
And you're alive?
Yes. Dude, I mean, this guy was fucking awesome. Like, I love this guy because
nice.
Guy was cool as shit. I think it was half a bottle in and half a shift in of Uber.
Yeah. Okay.
But dude, I got off the interstate. I just got done. What was I? I think I was hunting or something like that. I was driving my Volvo, got off the interstate, and I hit a patch of ice, and I slid into him doing probably like 5 to 10. Right. So I looked at him. He looked at me. He's like, "Let's get off this off ramp or whatever," because it was right off the interstate, 94 and probably like 10 mile or something. Got off the interstate. Got off of there, pulled into a gas station. So he's over there and he gets out of his car and he's like grabbing his neck, and I'm just like, "Fuck!" I'm like, "No, dude." And first off, it's a Mercedes Benz. I was like, "I have my insurance. I have everything. I always have insurance." Yeah. I was like, "But dude, I'm gonna have to pay this guy's deductible. I'm gonna have to pay this. It's a Mercedes Benz. I'm gonna get hit with all these different things." We go and look at the car. There's nothing wrong with either car.
Yeah.
And surprisingly, there's nothing wrong with the cars. So like me and him are talking. I'm like, "Dude," I was like, "You need to call the cops." I was like, "You need an ambulance, anything like that?" He's like, "No." He's like, "But it felt like somebody punched me in the back of the head." And I'm like, "All right, man." I'm like, "Well, what do you want to do?" And he's like, "Well, there's no damage. We're cool, bro. Just give me a fist bump." I'm like, "Yes." So I'm like, "Yes." I'm like, "I'm out of here. This guy doesn't want any medical." We still exchange information just in case like something actually happened or whatever.
Yeah, right.
He started driving away and then he stops. And he gets out of the car and he just waves me over. I'm like, "Fuck." I was like, right. Go over to the car or whatever. And he was like, "Look at this." He's like, "Now we're going to have to call the cops." Well, apparently Mercedes-Benz has some kind of safety thing on the back of the head on the head thing. Well, actually, what happened is when I hit him, it engaged and actually popped out and actually punched him in the back of the head. I'm like, how's that a safety thing? Literally, the guy's like, he's like, I don't know what happened. He's like, you didn't hit me hard, but something. So that's what we figured out. He's like, so we sat there and chilled for a minute. He called the cops. So we chilled for about 5 minutes, and he's like, I can't get it back in. He's like, if I get this back in, then I'm not worried about it. He's like, no harm, no foul. But if it's engaged, then he's like, I don't know how much it's going to cost. He's like, it's a fucking Mercedes Benz. You know, he's smoking a cigarette, and I look over, I'm waiting for him to pull out a bottle of vodka, but it's just, stereotype, But we waited, I think it was about like 5-10 minutes, and he looked up a YouTube video, pulls out, and he disengages it and puts it back into the regular position of the headrest. So he told me, he's like, we're cool. He's like, I'm going to call the cops and tell them that we're good, that we don't need any cops. He's like, because, it's already been 15-20 minutes. I'm literally in the car. I'm like, oh.
Right.
But no, dude, he was cool and chill, and I've never seen anything about it. Like after that, nice. I was like, dude. But I thought to myself, watching all these YouTube videos of like car crashes in different countries and stuff like that. He's probably used to it in Russia. He's probably used to that. Yeah, I love watching those things. He's probably like, oh, this is just Monday in Russia, you stupid American.
He says, my car is so tough it punches you when you get in an accident.
Dude, when I saw it, I was surprised, dude. But it literally it engaged.
Is it the only thing I could think of is if it's meant to like pancake your face with the airbag, like
but
and
to me
keep you from like wobbling your head around, just kind of.
To me, I don't know if I want to. If I'm getting hit by a car, if I want to get punched in the back of the head by my car,
right?
Freaking Optimus Prime over here, like stupid America.
You think if it was enough to engage that mechanism, it should have engaged the airbag.
Actually, yeah.
Correct. So maybe that's like a 10-mile-an-hour one, and then something higher.
Maybe it's just like you fucked up, and I'm gonna punch you in the back of the head. It's just a Russian car thing. Maybe it's just
you let yourself get hit, you get punched in the head.
It's a Russian, right?
No, he probably put that in his car. From America's driving, stupid. We don't hit hard enough, so he's had to hit himself.
It's his breathalyzer for drinking, He's like, okay, I can
sober up, It's just driving, and all right, cops coming.
Nothing like a swift punch in the head to keep you going.
Yep.
All right. We're getting ready to wrap it up here. Do you have anything you'd like to share or add, Emanating Shadow?
I don't think so. We covered a decent amount, I think. It's pretty much everything so far.
Cool.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun, man. I gotta get the dialysis going. The missus is waiting. We'd hang out and talk a little while.
She's like, "What are we doing?"
Yeah. Right. But it's awesome having you, man.
Yeah, for sure, man. Once I get stuff going a little bit more, I'm cool to do it again. So if you ever want repeats down the road,
okay.
Yeah, man.
Sounds good, man. And
cool.
thank you for showing up. If you guys are just getting in the stream or just coming in, Emanating Shadow, we've been talking with him all evening here. You can catch him on Twitch. He does game streaming on Twitch. Facebook, he has Vicarious Escapades, which is where he goes out and live streams different adventures, and you can follow along and join in on those. And he has those on his YouTube as well. Also, we've got the
Photo Motors.
Yeah.
The third one.
Photo Motors. We'll get another link up there for that. So,
all right.
You guys can go check him out there. We'll hopefully see him with an adventure coming up this Saturday. Or this weekend, and we'll look for this adventure growing. Well, thanks, man.
Yeah, for sure, man. Thanks for having me.
No problem.
Yep.
You got anything to add, Goof?
Not at all. Love the video. Love the pictures, man.
Thank you.
Pretty damn good job, and very fun and very good time hanging out with us, man.
Yeah, cool. Thanks.
Appreciate you coming in.
For sure, man.
Yep.
All right, guys. Well, it was awesome. Thanks for popping in. Everybody out there, thanks for tuning in for the podcast, and we'll catch you guys next Wednesday at 8:00. We don't have anybody scheduled for interview yet. If you want to be on the show as a Twitch streamer, be sure to check out www.gnomesayandpresents.com. You can apply on the website there. And we're looking for content creators to interview. Thanks again, Emanating Shadow. We'll be following
welcome,
up with you. Goofy, have a thanks for hanging out and being a co-host. Yeah, I don't know what I'm saying here.
Thanks for being a great co-host. No,
Yeah, we're just gonna roll it. So
You're doing
have
the
a
thing.
good night,
Good job.
Yep.
Have a good night.
Later, y'all.